Shamefulness is to look at what is right and wrong and have integrity. Have integrity. You work at a place and you've got control over the cash register. Nobody's watching. You open the cash register. Your shame, your modesty, that Allah is watching you, your instinctive nature of modesty, of sense of right and wrong, will stop you from stealing, even if you can get away with it. Otherwise, how is it that people appreciate the goodness of others? How is it that people stop from killing and murdering and harming others? How is it that what stops people from doing immodest, immoral acts? If it wasn't for the sense of modesty and detesting of shame. So, brothers and sisters, therefore shame is the opposite of modesty. And in Arabic, shame means ar. Ar means disgrace, dishonor. When you don't have modesty and self-respect, you bring shame upon yourself. So to me, haya to mean shame does not give the accurate meaning. Shame carries the notion that you yourself are somehow bad, or that your body itself is shameful. When we cover ourselves, for example, we don't do it because of shame, but because of modesty. Covering because of shame gives the impression that my body, for example, itself is shameful or bad in some way. No, a Muslim doesn't do that because of that. Or if I do a bad deed, just thinking of shame, it can make me think that I am a bad person by nature and good for nothing, and there's no hope in me, for example. So for example, that boy that we saw stealing, the way we would approach him is saying, son, this is not your character. And you know, Allah is watching. You did the wrong thing. We see our children doing the wrong thing. We don't say, you're bad. You're good for nothing. I don't know why I gave birth to you. You came out wrong. You're a mistake. No, you're an accident. We never say words like that to our children, because now we change them into they themselves are a shame. No. We've got to separate the two. Haya means modesty. They're born with it. Then do the things that keep away shame and let them know that shame is not good. Covering your body is not about just for the sake of social norms or the cold or just for appearance. It's an act of modesty and piety when it is done in the way that is prescribed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We often say, for example, the person has no shame, or have you no shame, or shame on you. What we mean by that is that person has no moral conscience. He has no sense of care to be dishonorable, no consideration to right or wrong. I don't care, so what? Or whether he takes people's rights or whom he harms in the process or not. So long as his desires, feelings and wants are met, that's all that matters to this person. I do what I want and I don't care about anyone else. This is a person who is dead in their heart. There is no modesty in that person, and we need to help them ignite it. My brothers and sisters, at the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, for example, he made a rule, a law. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, he said, he found out that the people, the businessmen were selling milk mixed with water and tricking the people. They were fraudulent and charging people for what seemed to be pure milk, but it was mixed with water. So he made a law and a punishment for anybody who is caught mixing milk with water and selling it, deceiving the buyers. One day, as his normal practice, he used to walk with his apprentice around at night, disguised, to see if anybody is in need of anything. Not to catch people, but to see if anyone's in need. Some people who are embarrassed to come forth for help. One day he sat to rest beside a wall after helping a woman and her kids, and he overheard someone behind the wall of a mother and her daughter. They were preparing milk to sell the next day. And the mother said to her daughter, mix the milk with water. So the daughter, she said, didn't you hear Amir al-Mu'mineen, the leader of the believers, has said that now we are forbidden and there's a punishment? And her mother said to her, and where is Amir al-Mu'mineen to see us? So the daughter says, If Amir al-Mu'mineen cannot see us, can't Allah see us? Sense of modesty and haya. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu went home, got his son, and he came back, knocked on their door, and said, "Excuse me, I am here. You are the people who I overheard before. Excuse me, forgive me, I didn't mean it." And the mother got scared. She said, "Wallahi, ya Amir al-Mu'mineen will never do it again." He said, "Don't worry, I'm not here to punish you, but I'm here to know about your daughter." He said, "What about my daughter?" He says, "She's an amazing person and I would like to propose." She said, "Amir al-Mu'mineen proposed to my daughter?" He said, not for me, for my son. A daughter like yours we should not let go of her. Just let her see my son. If they like each other, go ahead." And truly they got married, and from them came the fifth Khalifa, or the seventh Khalifa, or the eighth, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz radiallahu anhu. So that is haya. We have haya, modesty, in front of Allah, when you're alone. And that is the highest form. If no one sees me, I know that Allah sees me. We have to have haya in front of the angels. The angels watch us. And we have haya, modesty, with ourselves, self-respect. So therefore a Muslim has modesty in three different circumstances: in front of Allah, the angels, and himself. Did you hear me say anything about people here? No. It's got nothing to do with people. People who don't believe in Allah, who don't believe in the hereafter, who don't believe in this unseen, which we Muslims believe in, will say, there's no point of shame. What do you want with people? You get nowhere in life. But we as Muslims, we have shame, we have modesty because Allah sees us. Because the angels are there, because of ourselves, because there is a hereafter coming, because we are created here in this world for a test. And a Muslim's morals and his character is based mostly on modesty and haya. And the higher it is, the better you are.
Modesty and shyness are fundamental aspects of a Muslim's character, deeply connected to faith and moral values. They reflect a believer's awareness of Allah's presence and their commitment to living a righteous life. These traits safeguard one's dignity and promote respectful interactions, fostering an environment of purity and mutual respect. By embracing modesty, a Muslim protects themselves from sinful influences, ensuring their actions align with the teachings of Islam. Living modestly also nurtures inner peace and self-confidence. It helps Muslims prioritize their relationship with Allah over societal pressures or fleeting trends. Modesty encourages a focus on spiritual growth and authentic connections rather than seeking validation through outward appearances. This approach not only enhances personal well-being, but also upholds the values of Islam in everyday life.